The Quiet Sun Files: How the Next 25 Years Could Reshape Freedom. There is a rhythm to collapse. When the sun grows quiet, history tells us the earth trembles. Crops fail, rivers shrink, kingdoms fracture. And when that quiet overlaps the heartbeat of another star, Sirius, the damage multiplies. Now, add a final twist. Humans spray reflective dust into the sky to cool the planet. A planetary gamble played in the middle of a fragile moment. This is not science fiction. It's a forecast. And the real question is simple. Who will own survival when the lights go dim? Sirius, the dog star, is no lone wolf. It's a binary system. Sirius A, a blazing giant, and Sirius B, a dense white dwarf. They circle each other once every 50 years. Their last closest pass was in 1994. The farthest swing came in 2019. The widest separation in our sky peaked in 2023. The next closest approach? Around 2044. At the same time, the sun runs on cycles of its own. Across 6 centuries, we've seen grand solar minima, decades-long quiet phases, the Spörer minimum, from approximately 1460 to 1550, the Maunder minimum from around 1645 to 1715, the heart of the Little Ice Age, the Dalton minimum from about 1790 to 1830, when the skies dimmed after the eruption of Tambora, a weaker dip around 1900, and now, signs suggest another grand solar minimum is unfolding between 2020 and 2050. Look at the beat of history. 1460, Sirius near peak, Spörer minimum begins. Winter's harsh, villages starve. 1650, Sirius peaks again, deep inside the Maunder. The Thames freezes solid. 1800, Sirius plus Dalton minimum, Tambora explodes. 1816 becomes the year without a summer. 1900, Sirius orbit overlaps a weaker dip, yet war and flu stalk the world. 2038, Sirius midpoint, marching toward 2024 periastron, all inside a new GSM window. When Sirius and a quiet sun align, history shows humanity shudders. Alone, a grand solar minimum cools Earth by tenths of a degree, not enough to freeze the globe, but enough to wreck harvests with frost and altered rains. Alone, aerosols sprayed into the sky can reflect sunlight and slow warming, but like volcanic ash, they dim the sun. Alone, Sirius is just a neighbor star on its cosmic path. Together, these gears grind. Quiet sun, aerosol veil. Sirius beat. Crops blacken, rivers retreat, families migrate, banks panic. History repeats itself. The risk is not just the sky, it's the systems already stretched. Food, wheat, rice, maize, the spine of global diets. Shorter growing seasons, disrupted trade, and war make them volatile. Conflict, Ukraine's Black Sea grain, Israel-Iran tension, Taiwan's choke point, Africa's Sahel wars, all multiply famine risk. Water, MENA is the thirstiest region on Earth. Rich Gulf states desalinate. Poorer states face collapse. Energy, wind turbines stall in low sun winters. Solar panels ice over. A solar flare can fry fragile grids. The World Economic Forum promises a great reset. Green grids, digital IDs, carbon credits, global coordination. But in a GSM plus aerosol world, those solutions can double as chains, food rations through digital IDs, energy credits on fragile grids, carbon markets as currency of obedience, narratives shaped by elites who own the media. Scarcity becomes leverage. Survival becomes subscription. The push for all green energy sounds noble. But what happens when the sun itself dims? Intermittency. Solar falters in long winters. Wind wanes when aerosols shift jet streams. Solar storms. A single CME can black out satellites and power lines. The nervous system of a digital green world. Fossil fuels. Portable, storable, resilient. A lifeline in GSM winters. Alternatives. Nuclear, hydro, geothermal. Stable baselines. Cutting fossil fuels too early risks making humanity dependent on fragile centralized grids, and those grids can be gated, controlled by elites, down to who gets heat, light, and transport. Between 2025 and 2032, we witness climate jolts, food shocks, water stress, and wars. SRM research grows, and politics heat up over who owns the sky. From 2033 to 2040, reaching the 2038 midpoint, Sirius approaches periastron and GSM deepens. If aerosols scale up, rainfall collapses in fragile zones, forcing populations to depend on rationing. Between 2041 and 2048, around 2044 at Sirius periastron, if SAI overlaps GSM, the Tambora lesson repeats: synchronized famines. Elites ration survival through digital ID, carbon credits, and fragile grids. By 2050, three possible outcomes emerge: resilient, with balanced energy and transparency leading to stability; fragmented, as blocks form causing recurring famines and rationing; and captured, where survival is chained to IDs and credits, turning the Great Reset into the Great Enslavement. The quiet sun does not choose who suffers, people do. The next 25 years are not about astronomy alone. They are about governance, resilience, and power. Will energy, food, and water be human rights, or corporate subscriptions? The fork is here. Prepare yourselves. Question narratives. Build resilience. Demand transparency. Because when the lights go low, the question is not just how we survive. It's who controls the switch.